Hi, Kevin Blanch. First off, all my viewers in the UK and Canada, all you people out there, my condolences. I don't know how the fuck you do it. I really don't know how the fuck you do it. Kate Middleton and the Queen and her races. How the fuck do you fuckers do it? No wonder Churchill drank like he did. No wonder our ancestors crammed the fuck themselves in the fucking bottom of the boat and got the fuck out of there. I really don't know how you do it. I got this idea that came to me that we could take all these fucking financial criminals, these mortgage brokers, Greenspan, Cheney, Wolfowitz, Bremer, Bush himself. What we could do, we could take all these guys, ship them over to Tony Blair, and he could be in there too. He's the ringleader of this whole thing. Put them in there in a room and make them watch this 24/7 on fucking television screen set up in this fucking palace, a room. I mean, you want to talk fucking torture. Holy fuck. I want to talk about the economy and the nuclear disaster in Japan this morning. Number one, the nuclear disaster in Japan. I just put up a video with different reference material you guys can access on low-level exposure to radiation. There's been a lot of work done. I've been involved on this for a lot of years, and there are studies that show low-level doses of nuclear radiation causes cancer down the road. Now, I listed some on my other video. You watch it. I'm going to put them on my website. I've been heavily involved with the Justice Department. I've been heavily involved getting access to these government studies, which are supposed to be all public through the Freedom of Information Act. It's hard to get your hands on it, but they're there. You can go to work. You know, there's actually people in the government that do care. There's actually people who don't. You know, it's divided up just like everything else in this country. But anyway, as far as the economy goes, and the nightmare in Japan. Those poor people in northern Japan. What they did to those people is so horrific. I got this asshole who comes to me and he says, he watches my videos. 99% of everybody watches my videos I get so much intelligent data back and forth. A lot of freaking down-to-earth, grounded, really intelligent, thinking people who really think, who just don't take fucking the elephant shoved down their fucking throat. This guy says, you know, Kevin, if they asked for volunteers, I would go right over there, right where the reactor is, in the court office, and freaking go. I says, well, get the fuck, put your money where the mouth and get the fuck on over there, you dumb motherfucker. That kind of rhetoric is so fucking ignorant, so fucking dangerous. These guys that are sneaking back in. Wow. You get fucking even fucking one little fucking dose of that, you're going to fucking get cancer. I'm telling you, in those high fucking levels. Now, the low levels of radiation, the studies fucking show that low levels of radiation cause cancer later in fucking life. I mean, they're there. I've listed them on my last video, some of them. Leonard Berg really goes into this. He doesn't just talk about, you know, the studies here. He talks about in Hiroshima, those studies that were in Japan. They're there. They're there. So I'm going to start posting more and more so you guys can access. You know, like I said before, you can't hide. You can't tape up your fucking windows. You can't fucking... You know, it's a sad, sad fucking evil fucking thing that's happened to this fucking earth. Well, I want to talk about the economy also today. We got our credit rating lowered in the United States today. You know that. You know, fucking like in my video I put up that Hamilton would roll over. And I said, I know, I went and seen at his grave at the Trinity Church. There, go over there. It's right on this side of the Trinity Church. When I'm in New York, I like to go to church at the Trinity Church. I just love the Gothic freaking design inside that building. I absolutely love it. I like to go in there and just sit there and look. It's so magnificent. Well, he's buried right there. But anyway, Greenspan yesterday goes on one of them shows and says, oh, we should let the tax cuts freaking expire. You know why he's starting to say stuff like that? He's starting to cover his ass. Because he knows his legacy's fucked. He's a financial terrorist, that evil piece of shit. I listened to him speak one time live, Dr. Cooley and I, and I remember telling Dr. Cooley, I said, that fucker didn't say a fucking thing. He says, the fuck I know. But he used to just babble with her, and you want to talk about fucking, him and his fucking wife. Ooh, talk about creepy crawler. But anyway, these fucking evil fuckers have fucking crushed the economy because they've lowered fucking rates when they should have been fucking rising. They've run out of bullets for a long time. They're out of fucking ways to go. What are we going to do? Do a lower? You know, minus 1.5%. And this low interest rate is such bullshit. It's been a conspiracy. You want to talk conspiracy? The three credit scoring agencies, the three major score, and the big bank. This is conspiracy. Oh, you had a late payment in 1984, I see here. Oh, so you can't get the 4% interest rate that fucking everybody else is. Oh, what about the 1% that the banks? You can't get the 1. We'll give you 12. And the fucking theft was created by the local mortgage broker. That's a whole nother rant of mine. But anyway, As far as the economy goes, I was watching this morning. As traders in the finance world, a lot of people that are in that industry know this. All the good feeds come in internationally onto the cable news networks and cable TV at 2 a.m. Mountain Time, 4 a.m. Eastern. So we've conditioned, poop, I'm up right there because I want to see those international feeds. Because they're not watered down. They're not saying, oh, who won on American Idol last night? You know, fucking, oh, goddamn baby killers. Oh, fuck them fucking, them faggots. Oh, them fucking guns. You know, they don't hot button. You get some real feeds come in there. There was an analyst on there who's transplanted from New York over there, which a bunch of them have done, which I knew this guy. You know, another thing, CNBC has Dan Niles on. Holy fuck. He's actually one of their fucking... You know how much fucking money he fucking lost people in fucking 2000? These analysts, I mean, that gotta be in fucking prison. In prison. He was... I've got March, I think the 7th or 8th, 2000. You know, the market capitulated on March 10th. He put in strong buys on all kinds of stuff right then. He lost so many people and just kept going in and in. He was telling people to buy pet.com and all this kind of shit, and this guy's still there. But anyway, this asshole that was over there was a piece of shit that I knew. He's sitting on TV on one of the feeds coming in this morning, and I'm watching it, and this is no bullshit. This is no shit. China right now is having fits because they got wage inflation going on. And this is, you guys can argue with all you want. The average hourly wage in China is right around 37 cents an hour. It's moving up. It was clear down around 17. And they're saying, God, wage inflation is going to kill her. Come on. So companies are moving to Indonesia. I've said this when you hear my rants on fucking NAFTA and on tariffs. I go up. All world trade does when it's like this is just goes, if you're paying 20 cents an hour, somebody else is paying 10, GM and the rest of them will move there. They're moving to Indonesia. And if you want to understand anything about Indonesia, pure slavery, whether it be in the sex trade with children. These fucking kids, they put them in factories, they force them to work for nothing. For nothing. American companies are setting up shop there. Hamilton fucking said it himself this would happen clear back then. 1770s he was saying this. Clear back then. So, there's our problem. This fucking country cannot fucking recover. This economy's not going to recover. We're going to get lower and lower and lower. And these fucking, goddamn, don't raise no taxes, don't raise no taxes, don't do anything. You know what kills me about no fucking raising fucking tax on the rich? It's not the rich. The rich want their taxes fucking because a lot of the rich people are dynamic, intelligent people. They don't want to be fucking living in fucking India. Go to fucking India, you want to see pure capitalism. Where you'll see a fucking guy with billions living in a great big fucking house, and right below his house, fucking cardboard shacks. Thousands of fucking people living in hardcore slums. They know they don't want no society like that, even if they are rich. It's one horrible, sickening society living. That's what we're turning into. It is the middle-aged, white, ignorant fucking voter who fucking shot down the fucking raising of the taxes. The very people that are impoverished by these creeds, the very people that are fucked up in life, their children are all fucked up, they're dope fiends, they're all fucked up, they're fucking working 6 hours, they're fucking wrecks, they're ignorant. Those are the people who fucking said don't raise the fucking tax on the rich, not the rich. Stay with me, I'm going to get back to all these subjects. Kevin Blanch.